also give a very special thanks to someone who truly loves Israel. In fact, loves it so much that my daughter converted. My daughter converted. I didn't know this was going to happen. And Ivanka's here.
Hey, shalom, shalom, brothers. This is Brother Ahawad of GMS Toronto, coming back with another one. I want to start off by giving all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahushai, Bahashim, Rakah, Kodash. And just like the title says, this is the confusion of religion. You have to understand that this all stems from a people. The Bible is a book about a people. Yes, it does have prophecy that pertains to other people and rulerships and kings and empires, but it's pertaining to one people. It's pertaining to the Israelites and their relationship between them and their God. The journey is about the Most High choosing a particular set of people, creating a holy and righteous line for them to serve him and for them to rule the world in order and structure. Because this planet Earth has to be ruled in a particular type of way. Land Sabbaths, actual Sabbaths, high holy days. There's certain particulars on how this planet needs to be ran because it's supposed to be Eden. The whole world is supposed to be Eden, right? This experience on earth is supposed to be blessed. You people like to use the word blessed, right? Or heavenly. Okay? When you break the rules of the earth is going to punish you through the power of Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai. That's why the earth is weaker, right? Now this is 2nd Ezra chapter 14, verse 17, and it reads, "For look how much the world shall be weaker through age, so much the more shall evils increase upon them that dwell therein." That's the point. It's not about age, right? Because when the Israelites, right, are in power, when they finally gain power of the earth is going to get stronger and stronger and cleaner and better and better and better. It's going to be a reversal. The reason why the earth is weaker is because certain things, right, are not being upheld. Like I said, like the land Sabbath, right? You people are throwing plastic in the ocean. You people are dumping pharmaceutical drugs in the water. You're spraying chemicals in the air. What do you think that's going to do to the earth, right? You're creating genetically modified organism. What do you think that's going to do to the earth, right? So it says, "For look how much the world shall be weaker through age." It's not just through age. It's by misuse. The earth is being misused. By who? By Bob the Builder, who you people call the Caucasian or the so-called white man, right? Bob the Builder is misusing the earth. He drills the earth, digs the earth, rapes and robs the earth constantly, day in, day out, nonstop. Okay? Now let's go back to the video because that wasn't the point of the video. I just wanted to make a quick reference. But this video is about the confusion of religion that you people actually think that you can convert, right? You can change who you are. This book is about nationality of peoples, okay? The scriptures lets you know who the Israelites are. It lets you know who the Edomites are. It lets you know who the Ishmaelites are, who the Hamites are. You people have already been categorized, right? Through religion, you people have confused nationality.
Let me also give a very special thanks to someone who truly loves Israel. In fact, loves it so much that my daughter converted. My daughter.
right? And I don't remember her husband's name, but yeah, he's you know what? Yeah, he's the other people. And his wife, Ivanka Trump, let's figure out what she was before. I think she was a Catholic or something like that. So the question that I asked Google was, what religion was Ivanka Trump? Google AI says religion, raised Presbyterian, right? And if you brothers know anything about the Presbyterian, it goes back to John Knox, right? Going all the way back to the Reformation, going back to Martin Luther. But through the Reformation, right? Because you have to understand that Reformation came from the Protestants, right? They were the Protestants that basically rebelled, so to speak. They rebelled against the Catholic Church at that time, which was being ruled over by Israelites, right? So-called black men were ruling over the Catholic Church at that time, but they were wicked men, very, very wicked men, right? And from that, through Martin Luther, right? Not the Martin Luther King that most of the world knows. Well, he was a devil as well, but from Martin Luther, the Protestant, right? And from that came that guy Martin Luther's, his way of or belief, which was Lutheranism or something like that. Okay. But this lady or her family, she was raised Presbyterian, right? And that Presbyterian religion goes back to the belief of the scriptures. So how come they don't practice the scriptures, right? Because when you go into the Presbyterians, they believe that the Bible is the supremacy of the land, right? They actually believe that the Bible is the supremacy of the land, right? They believe that God's sovereignty is the only sovereignty, and God chooses who will be saved. That's what Presbyterians believe, right? But it says Trump converted to Orthodox Judaism in July 2009 after studying with Eli Weinstock, right? The other people of the Ramaz school. She adopted the Hebrew name Yael. She has described the conversion as a beautiful journey, okay? Because we already know what these people believe in, right? They use the Bible as a cloak, right? A cloak for their sin. What is their sin? Their sin is the Talmud, right? The Talmud, or the what's the other one? The Talmud or the shit, man. What's the other one that they use? Or the Kabbalah, right? That's what they practice. Their practice is the Talmud or the Kabbalah. They just use the Bible as a cloak or as a veneer. That's the trick. That's the trick bag for them to seem righteous, like they are the people, right? By lineage, but by lineage, they are not the people, right? Just like she's not the people. She's just a convert. That's all that she is. She is just a convert, right? When you go into the history of the what's his name? Oh my gosh, Benjamin Franklin. When you go into the history of Benjamin Franklin, he wrote an essay, right? And that essay, what was that essay? Oh my gosh, fuck. He wrote an essay where it was observations, something about observation of mankind, something like that, where he was describing the people who were in rulership of the world during that time, right? Which was like the 17 or the 1800s, right? And what the conclusion that Benjamin Franklin came to, he said, the number of purely white people in the world is predominantly very small. Very, very small. Hey, just like this lady right here, right? Because remember, she's in the land of where? She's in the land of Israel right now. This is supposed to be what? The Holy Land. Okay. Let's see if she's a holy person or a righteous person. Now, this is Leviticus chapter 13, verse 30, and it reads, Then the priests shall see the plague, and behold, if it be in sight deeper than the skin, and there be in it a yellow thin hair, right? So deeper than the skin, meaning that it's coming out of your scalp, right? A yellow thin hair, then the priest shall pronounce him unclean. It is a dry scale, even a leprosy upon the head or the beard, right? Which that can happen as well, right? So this lady, right, Ivanka, I don't know if she's a original blonde. I don't know if this is her original hair, right? But this hairstyle, right, this yellow thin hair is a plague, right? And this is supposed to be the Holy Land where there's supposed to be rabbis and priests and all of that. She's supposed to be escorted out because she is what? According to the scriptures, unclean.
I didn't know this was going to happen. And Ivanka's here.
See? But instead of being escorted, she's getting a standing ovation, right? And even a lady that's behind her. And this is the hairstyle that our women, the so-called Black, Latino, even Native American women, they have adopted. Why? To court the Caucasian, or to court the wicked, or to court the devil, the courting of the white man, because that's who our women really and truly want, right? They don't really want the man, they want the power. And the man in power is the Caucasian, right? That's who our women get wet for. That's who they get turned on for, because that's the only man that can put them in their place, right? To get or to understand our women have to be put in their place. And we, as so-called Blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, we don't have the power to put our women in their place, right? But that's what turns them on. That's what they desire. They desire to be put in their place, right? But yes, going back to what Benjamin Franklin was saying in his essay, this man said, all of Africa is black and tawny, right? So that's something we already know, right? That's not a big surprise, okay? Right? Asia, he even described Asia, right? Chiefly, he said chiefly tawny. That's what the man said about Asia, because we ruled Asia, okay? And I'm talking about Japan, China, right? I'm not only talking about places like India and, South Asia and places like that, what you people know. Nope, all of Asia, you so-called black men ruled as well, right? Then he described America. And then when he described America, it was funny because he said exclusive of the newcomers, right? So who were the newcomers, right? Because there was newcomers to America. He said wholly so, because he was describing Asia. Then he went into America. So America is tawny, right? And he just said exclusive of the newcomers. Who was the newcomers? People like him. People like the people that you're seeing on your screen. So how could these people be the originals of the land that they're in today, or that they're in right now, giving a standing ovation to a person that has a curse upon her head, right? Going back, it says, it is a dry scale, even a leprosy upon the head or beard. And if the priest look on the plague of the scalp, and behold, it be in the sight deeper than the skin, and that there is no black hair in it, then the priest shall shut up him that hath the plague of the scalp 7 days. And in the 7th day the priest shall look on the plague, and behold, if the scalp spread not, and there be in it no yellow hair, and the scalp be not in sight deeper than the skin. Verse 33, he shall be shaven, but the scalp shall he not shave, and the priest shall shut up him that the scalp 7 days more. Okay? And in the 7th day the priest shall look on the scalp, and behold, if the scalp be not spread in the skin, nor in the sight deeper than the skin, then the priest shall pronounce him clean, and he shall wash his clothes and be clean. Right? But this person, right, or these people, right, the Edomites, they're what we call clean leopards. Right? This is how they were born. They were born like this. An unclean leper will, hold on, let's get an unclean leper. Now, this is a Jamaican artist, dancehall artist from back in the day. His name is Yellowman, right? But he was an unclean leper, right? This is a man of color that got a plague of leprosy. And you see his hair, the yellow thin hair, right? He changed. His skin also changed. This is a so-called black man, but he got hit with the plague of leprosy. Okay? He got hit with the plague of leprosy. This is what happened to who? Now, this is Numbers chapter 12 and 1. And this is the cause, right? Because everything is cause and effect, right? So the cause is Numbers 12 and 1. And Miriam and Aaron spake against Moses because of the Ethiopian woman who he had married, for he married an Ethiopian woman, right? So talking shit, which our people like to do even today. But you people have to be very careful when you talk about a man of the Lord, okay? Got to be very careful, right? So if you people want to read the rest, you can read verse 2 to 9. I'm going to jump to the point. Now, this is verse 9, and it reads, and the anger of the Lord was kindled against them. Who? Miriam and Aaron, right? Was kindled against them, and he departed. Verse 10, right? This is the effect. And the cloud departed off the tabernacle, and behold, Miriam became leprous, white as snow. And Aaron looked upon Miriam, and behold, she was leprous. Okay? And Aaron said unto Moses, alas, my Lord. See, humbled now, right? You were just talking shit. Now you're humbled. And that's what's going to happen to the world, right? The world is going to be humbled by the men of the Lord, right? Who are they? That's for you. That's for you people to come to a conclusion about. But for all you people that ever spoke shit to the men of the Lord, you're fucked. Just know that. And Aaron said unto Moses, alas, my Lord, I beseech thee, lay not the sin upon us, wherein we have done foolishly, and wherein we have sinned. Okay? And wherein we have sinned. So what is that? Aaron said unto Moses, alas, my Lord, I beseech thee, lay not the sin upon us. Right? So to look like this guy, right? This woman, this is a sin. This is a man of sin. This is the woman of sin, right? They have no melanin, or I'm sorry, they have very little melanin. That's why you can see the blood forth through their skin, right? These are the children that are descended from Esau. These are Edomites, right? These are the Edomites, right? These are the Edomites, and there's no way around it, okay? Let's play that back again real quick.
Let me also give a very special thanks to someone who truly loves Israel. In fact, loves it so much that my daughter converted.
You can't convert to a nationality of people. You can study us, which is why we say that when they say they are Jewish, yes, they are. Are these people Jewish? Yes, they are. Are they Israelis? Yes, they are. Right? The ISH on the end of a word means pertaining to or wanting to be like. Right? That's fine. That's completely fine. Right? Judaism, right, is the study of the Jews. That's fine. You can study us all you want. Right? You can study us all you want. But you are not of the line of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. You're of the line of Abraham, Isaac, and Esau. That's who you Edomites are. That's who you descend from. Okay? But like I said, this lady, her belief system before Judaism was Presbyterian, right? But when you go into the essay of Benjamin Franklin, like I said, when he was describing the Americas, he said exclusive to the newcomers. Who are the newcomers? People that look like this, right? Holy soul. And even in Europe, what does that mean? What does that mean? Even in Europe, right? Who was Europe ruled by? You so-called blacks. That's who Europe was ruled by, right? Benjamin Franklin named the Spaniards, the Italians, the French, the Russians, the Swedes, and what did he say? Are generally of what we call swarthy complexion. And he then said, as are the Germans, right? As are the Germans, right? So Europe was swarthy people, okay? And what does the word swarthy mean, right? That's where you get the word Swarza, right? The word Swarza, right? The Germans, they use the word Swarza, which means dark or dusky skin tone, right? Tawny means warm brown or tan complexion. Like when you go into a sauna, the wood, right, is that of a nice warm brown. Okay, like a oak or like a cognac, right? But when you go into the word, it's derived from the medieval Latin tonere, tan hides, right? Or a oak bark used in tanning. Okay, so that's the meaning of the word. So all these people, right, that are in the land, right, today, all these people that are around the world today that don't look like us are not the real people, right? They are not the real people. They're really and truly not the real people at all, right? They are, they're the others. I'll just call them that. I don't want to say anything offensive, right? Because, right, we're just going into a little bit of history, but they're the others. And you cannot convert into something that is based upon nationality, okay? Christian was a derogatory term that was given onto the southern tribes, Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, okay? It was a derogatory term that was given onto us, right? So instead of, I'm sorry, that was given to the followers of Yahushai. Now the word Jews was a derogatory term as well that was given to the southern tribe by the Babylonians. Now Christians was a derogatory term given to the followers of Yahushai, or followers of the Mashiach. Okay?